This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Okay, I got an opportunity to gig this guitar on Saturday. It was a marquee wedding, like 350, 360 people. Actually a really fun gig. And there were a couple of issues that I wanted to discuss in the video because it wasn't clear to me at bedroom volumes that this was a thing. So jumping straight into it, the number one issue with this Jet guitar is that these ceramic pickups, particularly the bridge pickup, for me, this one ended up being microphonic. Now, what that means is that probably at a bedroom volume, you'll be fine, right? And certainly a beginner guitarist, unless you're really cranking an amp up, you're not going to possibly even discover this. And it's probably not the case throughout all Jet guitars, right? But this is the second guitar with ceramic pickups where I've had this issue. The other one was a Sire T3, which is their sort of £300 entry-level Larry Carlton telly. I can remember that I had this same exact thing happen, which I only discovered on a gig. So I should have been looking out for this when I made the first video. I forgot. Anyway, so what this means is that when you switch to your bridge pickup live, you're probably going to have to roll the volume knob off to get through the gig. And then for the second half, I pulled out my Twatcaster and used that instead. I guess that's one area, the electronics, probably where it's very clear that that's where you're making some savings with the Jet guitar, right? It's a, around 150, 170 pound guitar. You could pay that much for a decent set of pickups alone. So that might be one area where I'd say for this particular guitar, that's an almost essential upgrade. Jake has gigged it twice and not had this issue. Maybe there was required gigs. I don't know. The gig that I was on was fairly loud, but I'm able to get it to happen in the room here too. Typically, you might be standing quite near your amp on a gig, and so this is going to be a real issue for that sort of thing. Positives, the neck does feel really comfortable to play live as well. This has got some oldish strings on it and it wasn't really a problem. Stays in tune pretty well. I would probably, if it was my guitar, be paying some attention to the intonation, particularly on the A string. But since it's not my guitar, fiddling around with that bridge doesn't feel quite appropriate, and neither can I be bothered to. The thing is that this feels in my hand, you know, like sometimes you feel, even up to like Fender Vintera models, you feel your way down the neck, and you feel like sharpness and frets that feel sharp, even on some more expensive guitars. That just isn't the case. This feels really comfortable in the hand. Just feels like a very nice guitar. I think that's part of why it feels like it's more expensive, much like the Sire guitars, where they've focused on some things that get you good results, possibly without even much investment. Like how much extra time does it take to do the frets properly? I don't know. But yeah, the tuning stuff feels stable. I quite like the feel of them. And the other slight issue, I can't really be too harsh on Jet with this either, because there are Sir guitars, there are Fender guitars that are 20 times the price that are still coming in around this sort of weight. So this weighs 8.4 kilograms, which for a Telecaster is a little on the heavy side. However, as I say, you know, the Fender American Vintage that they sent me to check out weighed just shy of £8. I've played a couple of Sirs that weighed about that much. If you looked on Guitar when John Cruz guitars was still a thing, there was examples of those custom shop guitars that were like 6 grams that were coming over £8 in terms of weight. So it's sort of about the weight that you might expect a good Les Paul to sit at. If you had a really nice light Les Paul, it might be about this sort of weight. It's not a problem, it's just something to be aware of. If you were standing up gigging with it, for a telly, this might put a little bit more strain on you than a telly that was half a pound lighter, which is kind of where I would have thought a typical good sort of weight for a telly might be about £7.5. So this is a little bit over that. But as I say, this is something that other brands and way more expensive brands don't necessarily get particularly nailed all the time anyway. So in general, still very positive, but I thought I needed to tell you about those two issues. I'm going to compare it here with the K-Line pickups so you can see that those microphonic pickups is not just me, making that stuff up. My buddy Dave, who I virtually babysit his kid, said that he loves his Jet guitar. I don't know how much Dave's weighs, I'll ask him, but he had replaced all the electronics on it, and then he found that basically the electronics and the pickups, I think he put some bare knuckles in there, and then it just plays like a really good guitar. So even if you have to factor in that at some point this might need a pickup upgrade, it's still probably going to come under £400, £300, and I think for me that neck shape is, and the 9.5 inch radius is why I'd probably be picking this over a Squire. I don't know if I'd pick it over a Sire necessarily, but I'd put it kind of up there in terms of quality. Also, someone mentioned EART guitars, E-A-R-T, which I checked out. Those are really quality, or really nice looking. I don't know the quality. I did ask them if I could do a demo for them. I've not heard back. Those have stainless steel frets, so a bit of an upgrade. Someone in the comments mentioned these, and but still ceramic pickups, so they might have the same kind of issues. I don't know if ceramic pickups in general are more prone to being microphonic or not, but it's been the case that the 2 times I've had this happen, it's been with ceramic pickups in these cheaper guitars. Other options, I guess, are Yamaha Pacifica in this kind of price range if you factor in the pickup. And also the Ibanez AZES. I gigged that without having problems with the pickups. So yeah, a few options in this price range, but I wouldn't go lower than the Jet, is basically my advice, and maybe factor in that you might need a pickup upgrade. I just wanted to follow that up because after gigging it, I thought it was important to share that with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Share with other folks your experience with Jet guitars. I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of positive things to say about them, especially at this price.